with Mind-Body.Apparel. We are a socially conscious design company based in Los Angeles. We design and sell fashion-inspired accessories that build confident thinking and self-esteem among the inner-city youth. Every time I sell an accessory, a percentage of it goes right back into a program called the I.C.E program. The I.C.E program is a business model that is aimed to inspire inner-city youth to view entrepreneurship as an option and to teach them the skills required to become successful business owners. I stands for Inner-City Entrepreneur. And you guys are now tuned in to Seeing the World Through the Eyes of a Black Entrepreneur. This is the platform where I teach aspiring entrepreneurs how to perceive the world from a different perspective. And not only will I have what I have to say keep you uplifted and motivated, but it will also steer you closer to starting your own business. Okay. The other day, I sat down and talked to a friend of mine who works for New York Life. And he wanted to sit down and talk to me about enrolling into a plan called the African American Community Empowerment Plan. As a matter of fact, I still have the brochure with me right here. And here, can we see that? I want you guys to see this. My lighting's kind of bad. There we go. All right, so basically, just reading from the pamphlet, the goal of the plan is to generate $50 billion of life insurance protection within the African American community by insuring 200,000 individuals for at least $250 each. And let me just say this. He's a new friend of mine, but I really respect him. But I had to tell him no. And I told him no because I told him that New York Life's mission did not sync with mine. And I said, my mission is to rebuild and reinvest in the Black community through entrepreneurship. And, you know, I don't just talk about entrepreneurship, but it's a part of my lifestyle. You know, my mind is always thinking ownership, ownership, ownership. I mean, every moment I'm thinking, or any idea that someone brings to me, I'm always thinking ownership. So he thought he explained everything to me wrong. And he says, no, you don't understand. He's like, they're going to generate $50 billion within the African American community. This is money that can be passed down from, to your family. And so I really wanted to make this video because I wanted to warn you guys about some of the companies that you work for and do business with. You know, some of these companies and industries may not necessarily have your back and your community's back like you think they do. And as a matter of fact, they could be exploiting you and you don't even realize it. Now, before you jump down my throat, just hear me out for a second. So the first thing that comes to mind when I think of the African American Community Empowerment Plan, the first thing that comes to my mind is New York Life really, like, what are they doing with my money? Are they really securing my family's future, or are they strategically investing this money to make themselves extremely rich and just giving me a small piece of the pie? That's the first thing that comes to my mind, right? And so I asked him, I said, what do you like about New York Life? And he says, well, I like New York Life because they're teaching me how to be financially literate. And they're teaching me how to be financially independent. And essentially, I'm running my own business. And so he says, I'm taking all that knowledge and I'm giving it back to the Black community. And I'm also teaching them about financial literacy. And that's how I'm giving back to the Black community. That's what he tells me. And that's the one thing we have in common, is that we're both trying to rebuild and the Black community. So I said, okay, I totally agree with what he's doing. I understand what he's trying to do. I really do. I mean, I think that he is trying to become the best agent that New York Life has to offer, or he's just trying to beat everybody out. And I applaud him for that. You know, he literally goes to all the seminars. He studies and recites all the materials that they give him. But I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, well, that might be the problem. That might be the problem. Like, let me give you guys an analogy. So I can write a book about entrepreneurship, right? And you guys could study it, recite it all day, but that doesn't necessarily make you equipped to start your own business. And the reason why it doesn't necessarily make you equipped to start your own business is because it's my version of entrepreneurship, and my version could be missing information. The point I'm trying to make is that New York Life is not teaching my friend how to become financially independent or to become an entrepreneur. Technically, what they're doing is they're feeding him their version of financial literacy, and their version is teaching him how to become an employee. He's then taking that information and giving it back to the Black community, and he's teaching our community how to depend on New York Life. And so here's the point. So New York Life is not set up to teach people how to become financially independent. Because if they were, you wouldn't need them. It's kind of like the doctor-patient situation. A doctor is not going to give you a cure right away. He's going to give you medicine because he wants you to come back, because the money is not in the cure. It's in the medicine. I want to keep you coming back. That's how I'm going to make money, right? See, a lot of times we don't realize is that when we work for employers, basically what you're doing is you're entering in a system of their education, meaning that they make all the materials, study guides, and they teach you that. They're not teaching you how to become financially independent or to become your own entrepreneur. This is what I told him, and this is pretty much for anybody who's listening right now. If you want to become financially literate or independent or start your own business, you're going to have to be willing to learn outside of the walls of your employer or the classroom. Like you can't expect your employer or your professor to give you information that is going to ultimately help you become independent. Like it doesn't work that way. The real research starts when you get home. The real research starts when you get home. It doesn't start at work or it doesn't start at school. The real research starts at home. And this type of thinking is initiated when you think beyond employment. So if you're thinking beyond employment, you're always going to want to learn more, right? So it's all about thinking beyond employment. Stop thinking an employee and start thinking ownership. And when you think ownership, you by default will want to learn more than what they are teaching you in the classroom or your employer is training you on. I mean, that's just how it works. I lost my train of thought. Let me get back to what I was saying. And here's the thing. I'm not trying to throw New York Life under the bus or anything like that. There are a lot of companies that are set up this way. I know a lot of parents out there who have heard of this Gerber Life, Gerber Life Grow Up Plan for your baby, where they advertise, save for your baby pennies a day. Like, you have to ask yourself, what are they really doing with your money? Are they really setting money aside for your baby's future? Or is this a ploy to abstract more money from the policyholder, which is you, so that they can get filthy rich, and they're just giving you a small piece of the pie? They're giving you a very small piece of the pie. Here's what I'm trying to say. Look, New York Life is a Fortune 500 company. They're extremely smart. They've been in business for over 100 years. They have over, I believe, $24 billion in surplus. You don't get that kind of money by being conservative and letting your money sit in an account and playing, the market safe. You don't get that kind of money by doing that. As a matter of fact, there's an old saying that says, there's an old expression, and it goes something like this. It goes, don't work for your money, let your money work for you. I want you guys to think about that for a second. Okay? Think about that for a second, and you connect your own dots. Okay? So think about that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan for your family's future. I'm not saying that. I don't think you should have some type of insurance. But what I'm saying is you should try and educate yourself financially so that people aren't taking advantage of you. You have to be willing to learn outside of what your insurance agent is telling you so that you know what's going on. And if you think about it, just think about this for a second. Just say if you do sign up for an insurance plan, right? And you do happen to pass $250,000 down to your future generation, or whoever. How good is that money going to really do them if they don't have the knowledge to pertain or to contain that money? So what I'm basically trying to say is the best knowledge you can pass, or the best asset that you can pass down, is knowledge. It's not money. Because we all know $250,000 is nothing in this world. That can be literally spent in a month or two, depending on what you buy. So what I'm trying to say is that you're doing yourself a better service by educating yourself how to become financially independent. Because you not only will save the money because of the skills you've accumulated from studying and whatever it is it takes to become financially literate, but you'll also be passing that knowledge down as well. Yeah, so just think about that. Look, I'm gonna wrap this up, but if I could leave you guys with one piece of information, this really kind of goes out to all the aspiring entrepreneurs, people who are getting ready to start their business, maybe a newly started business. When you get your business up and going, you need to think like you need to have a mindset of a bank. That's one thing that a lot of companies get right, is they have the mindset of a bank. And here's the thing, you might sell hair products, you might sell cookies, you might sell t-shirts, you might sell kicks, whatever. Those are all great products, but you always have to keep the mindset of a bank. And what I mean by that is that you have to always be thinking about innovative ways to serve your community so that you can extract more money from your consumer. Now, I know that might sound greedy or that might sound a little crazy, but you want to abstract more money from your consumers as much as possible, because one, it'll give you the resources to compete with your competitor, who is ultimately trying to put you out of business, right? If you're out of business, you won't be serving any community, right? So that's one reason why you want to abstract as much money. You want to also, you notice I said serve your community. So it's okay to abstract more money from your consumer as long as you're serving them better. And the other reason why you want to abstract as much money as possible is because every business needs a family, and that family is called an industry. And specifically speaking, I'm thinking, when I say industry, I mean, I'm really thinking of Black businesses, right? So like, if it's much difficult to put one business out of, it's much difficult to take one company and put it out of business than it is an industry. All right. Every company should be thinking about helping build an industry, because ultimately that's just going to give you more stability. It's going to give you more resources. It's just going to give you a family. What do families do? Families hold you down when you have difficult times. And so if you're using your resources right, you're investing into other companies that are going to hold you down when things are tough. And so, yeah, so just think about that. But toward the end of our conversation, my friend asked me, he says, well, what's your idea of investing? Like, what is your idea of investing? How are you going to plan for your future? How are you growing your money? And so my answer was really simple. I'm investing in kids that are between the age of 12 and 17. And I'm teaching them how to start business. Because if I get them successful, maybe they'll let me become a part of their business. And I'll become a partner of them. And then, we'll become partners. That's ultimately how I'm investing my money, right? Is I'm investing it into the I.C.E program, and I'm helping kids start and operate their own business so that they can be successful. And if they succeed, hopefully we all succeed, right? That's the whole point. And while I'm speaking of the I.C.E program, parents, if you are between, or if you live in the Los Angeles area, and you have a child between the ages of 12 and 17, they can attend my entrepreneurship class for absolutely free. Now, we just started. We're actually halfway through this session, and I'm holding off for a little while before I announce the next class. And the reason why is because I'm still working out some kinks in the syllabus, and I want to make sure that everything is smooth sailing when I bring on a full class. I have some really smart and intelligent kids in my class, and I want to make sure that I give them the attention that they need instead of cutting them off and starting a new class. So, but what you can do is you can register your child, and what you can do is I'll email you when I am announcing the new class. I just had a father call me today. He's super excited about having his child join the class. And so and I also want to say this because he brought up something very interesting. He said, because it's me and a few volunteers, right? This is a new program. And he said something. He says, well, I can help you. I can volunteer and I can help you, get your program going. And if that's going to help my child, join your program faster, I have no problem with that. He says, I'm investing in your program and you're investing in my child, so it works. And that's actually a really good idea. So if you want your child to join this program, and one thing you can do is you can invest your time. If you're interested in maybe teaching a class, coming in and teaching a class 1 week, that will give me some free time to kind of do some other things. So, but you can email me. All my information is on my website. It's www.mind.body.apparel.com. That's MIND, body, BODY, apparel, APPAREL.com. And I have to say this, and I'm looking for parents who are heavily involved in their child's life. This is not a program where you can drop your child off and us just babysit them. It's not one of those programs. We are truly trying to get some of these kids to start their business. This is a real thing. This is a real program. We have real visions. If you are not interested in building a community, then this is not the right program for you as well. All right. Let's see. Like, share, thumbs up this post, subscribe, please. I'm going to be just talking about a lot of things that are uplifting the community. And I really need everyone's support out there. Please give me all the support you can. I need support. This is a really big thing, but it will die if I don't have one person who will stand with me, not behind me, but with me. And let's see, I always leave you guys with a last minute thought. There you go. This is the last minute thought I want to leave you guys. Real information is not accumulated in one place. You have to take from different sources, right? Different sources. If you want to learn how to start a business, read a book, watch a documentary, talk to a business owner, take a class. Take all those different pieces and put them together. Make your own assessment on how a business is operated and owned. Don't rely on one person to give you their version of entrepreneurship or what their version of financial literacy is, because their information is limited, is what I'm trying to tell you. Even my information is limited. Everyone's information is limited. You have to pull from several resources in order to get the final conclusion. All right. So that's all I'm pretty much going to say. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to be sending out some more videos. In fact, there's a part 2 to this that deals with this brochure that I'm going to talk about. So look for that. Thank you again and have a great day. Take care.